Kit Kats can read.
Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys my Netgalleyathon TBR. So if you guys don't know, Netgalleyathon is a readathon that is based around reading your NetGalley books. So if you don't know what NetGalley is, it's a website for book reviewers to request books as e-arcs, like ebooks, to read on your Kindle or your iPads or any sort of tablet form, and you basically read those as a read to review basis. You provide a review on the website, and sometimes they do ask you if you can like post your review on other websites as well, but it's mainly on this website. And you get a ratio as well, so like for books requested and received, so books that you have received and that have been approved versus reviews that you have actually posted. So for example, if I had requested 10 books but I've only posted like 2 reviews, then I would be like down on my percentage. Publishers do prefer if your ratio is around the 80% mark. So this is why it's very, very important to try and keep on tabs with your NetGalley TBR and posting your reviews and everything like that. Unfortunately, I'm not really one to talk because my ratio is very, very bad. It's critically damaged. It has been for a few years. I've owned my NetGalley account for probably 8 years now, so it's got at least 8 years of damage. And unfortunately, when I did start NetGalley myself, I had the NetGalley bug where I just saw books, I was just like, oh, this sounds really, really good, and unfortunately I was requesting more than I was actually going to read. So unfortunately with things like that, you just got to put them into perspective, like, will I read it, and will I read it on time? Is there a possibility that I will get around to it, and that sort of thing. So with NetGalley, you just got to be really, really careful with that. But this readathon is perfect. It means that we can get together, make friends, read together, get those TBR piles down, get those books read. And yeah, it's a brilliant, brilliant readathon. So I just want to thank Connor and Brooke for creating this, and I will leave their channels down below, and also any details like the Twitter account and the Instagram account, that will be down below as well. I'm lucky enough to be chosen to be one of the hosts that will be doing some sprints, so again, massive thank you to Brooke and Connor for allowing me to be doing that. And I'm going to be doing the sprints before 12, and that is going to be on the Wednesday and I believe Friday and Sunday. So those are my 3 days, and I'm doing them morning up until 12, so I'll be doing a few sprints with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to reveal to you my TBR for next week, because it literally starts tomorrow, which is really exciting, and I'm off work tomorrow, so hopefully I can get some reading done as well. So with this readathon, there are 4 main prompts. We have the newest arc that you have received, the oldest arc that is on your TBR, an arc that you're really, really excited for, and an arc that you regret requesting, whether that be like all sorts of ways. So for me, the newest book that I have received is literally the latest book on top of the TBR. This is a book called Homecoming Tales, which is 15 inspiring stories from an old friend's senior dog sanctuary. So it is a children's non-fiction book, and I just requested it because I was like, oh, I just love books about animals, and I just feel like this can be completely heartwarming. So it's literally like real life stories about senior dogs who have found forever homes through the dog sanctuary, and I just feel, I can already feel like it's going to be warming my heart so much. And yeah, I just, it's so cute. So I'm, looking forward to giving that one a read. Next of all, we go on to a book that is on the opposite end, at the bottom of your TBR. So this is the first ever book that I requested on NetGalley. This book is called And All the Stars, and it's by Andrea K. Post. So this was released way back then. I just got too excited for NetGalley. And so this is actually kind of a little bit like an apocalypse that's going on. They don't know if it's an alien invasion or like a germ warfare, and it's just about a girl called Madeline who is looking to become something in portraiture, like something big in portraiture, by winning an Archibald Prize. Her cousin Tyler is beautiful, famous, and it's sort of like perfect to use for. So basically all our plans go to pot because of this like random alien invasion that's going on. Like, I don't know, it sounds pretty crazy. So yeah, that is like literally the oldest book that's on my TBR, but it's on the list and hopefully I can get around to reading it, because I know for me it would feel really, really good for me to get that book read. Then I move on to a book that I am most excited to read. So I was literally picking up the top of my TBR of Netgalley and I was like, this book, definitely. So this is called Love in Lockdown by Chloe James. And I was really excited when I got approved for it, and I was just like, oh, I can't wait to read it. So this is literally about a romance that happens during a lockdown. There's a girl called Sophia, and she's literally like falling apart. She's getting completely overwhelmed with the clap for the key workers, and she really, really wanted to like meet somebody and fall in love, but then this lockdown is sort of like really, really getting to her. And then we've got Jack, who is the neighbour, and he just suddenly like hears this girl crying, and they start up a conversation, and then they sort of look forwards to their meetings on the balcony, and I just think, oh, it just sounds like it's so super cute. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. For the book that I regret requesting, I've put down Grumpy Cat Awfully Big Comics Collection by Ben McCall and all sorts of like other people. And I have already like kind of started reading this a couple of months ago, but I put it down because I didn't realise how much of a big graphic novel book this was. I'd read loads of it. I sat down for like a couple of hours and I wasn't even like a third through it. I was just like, how big is this comic collection? It was just so big. I was just like, this is huge. So I put it down and I was just like, you know what, I'll pick it up like another time, and I just haven't picked it up for another month or so. So now's probably the perfect time for me to complete and finish it. I think with it I got probably near the halfway mark, so you know, I'm not doing too bad, but it would be good to get it read and completed, and you know, I'll feel good. But I regret requesting it because I didn't realise how much of a big book it is, and it is like quite long-winded because it is quite big, and it's just like, oh. So yeah, it would be good to just knock that off the TBR. So along with this readathon, you do have a bingo board which contains 9 squares of like all sorts of things. And so the first square that we got is to read an expected rejection, so like a book that we thought we wouldn't get, so like we expected that we were going to be rejected for. So for this one I've put a book called The Island by C.L. Taylor. Now honestly, I was really excited when I got this because I thought that I was going to be rejected, because this book just sounded really, really good. So this is Lost Meets the Hunger Games. It's a thrilling new young adult novel. Welcome to the island where your worst fears are about to come true. It was meant to be the perfect holiday, but then the guide dies of a stroke which leaves him stranded. So the trip of a lifetime then turns into a nightmare. Someone on the island knows each of the group's worst fears, and one by one they are becoming a reality. 7 days in paradise and a deadly secret. Who is going to make it off the island alive? Dun dun dun! It just sounds really cool, and it does sound a bit like Lost as well, with all the crazy things happening. And yeah, I just think it's just going to be really, really good. So like, I'm just, yeah, really, really looking forward to this one. Then we go on to the self-care section, and it says to do at least 3 self-cares. So there's like a board, and every time you read at least 25% of your book, you can do like 1 self-care like item, and there's a big list as well as a big document list of all sorts of things. So the ones that I've chosen for at least the top 3 would be like, these are the most likely ones that I'll be doing, and that's just to drink a hot beverage, to send a picture of the current reading spot, and to watch a TV episode of something I enjoy, which is obviously going to be Gilmore Girls for me because that's what I'm currently reading. So the next square is to finish a book. So this can literally go towards any of the books. It can go towards any books that, you know, in the main 4 challenges, or any books I'm reading in this little square thing. So literally the first book that I read, that's the first that I cross off. So the next bingo board challenge is to read a book that is set during the winter or Christmas. So for this one I have chosen The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. So this is literally about an app called The 12 Dates of Christmas, and a girl called Kate is happily single, she loves Christmas, and then Laura, who is one of her oldest friends, insists that she signs up to this app called the 12 Days of Christmas. And so she's like, okay, it contains the area's most eligible men, how can I say no? So it's amongst twinkling lights, hot chocolates, red wines, and yeah, it's just about Kate experiencing this, learning more about herself and everything, and you know, it's based around the Christmas period. So yeah, thought this would be perfect for this challenge. So the middle block is a block that I would never ever be able to complete because of what I have previously mentioned, that I just have a very bad ratio, and also I have too many books on my NetGalley TBR. I would never be able to clear my NetGalley shelf probably in like 10 years if all I did was read NetGalley books. But yeah, there's always books just coming out on NetGalley, and because I've been doing it for a while as well, just too many reasons. But yeah, just it's the challenge, unfortunately, that I will be unlucky to never ever complete. It's really sad, but unfortunately it's just the way it goes. So moving on to the next block, we've got a book that is already released. So for this one, I've gone for Charming the Skeptic by Winter Daniels. So it's already released, it came out in September, and it says, will love open its heart to magic? And it's about a paranormal investigator called Wade. He thinks that supernatural is completely fake. He hosts a TV series that pretty much like makes fun of like haunted places and makes them look silly, but then the show is in danger of being cancelled, so he's then got to wow his producers by exposing the most convincing occult phenomenon that he can find, which is a bookstore in Cat's Paw Cove. So then Asta, who is a bookworm, she knows that magic is real because she has got the power to step into a world of any novel, and her mischievous cat often joins her. And ever since her mum abandoned the family, Asta's frequent jaunts into fiction are a lot more interesting than caring for her siblings and father. So then Wade sets his sights on the supposedly haunted bookstore. He gets way more than he can ever imagined. He never counted on the possibility that ghosts might actually be real, or that he might be falling in love with Asta, who manages the bookstore. So yeah, again, it sounds a little bit crazy. Ghosts and the cat. It just sounds really cool in my opinion, and yeah, I look forward to hopefully getting around to that one. And then we've got Own Voices read, and the most recent sort of Own Voices book that I could find was Heiress, apparently Daughters of the Dynasty by Diana Ma. And I was looking up, and she writes a lot about Asian kick-ass people, and she's got like Asian in her heritage as well. So I thought this is pretty cool. She knows her stuff about Asian, so she's going to write it. So it's the first book in an epic romantic YA series following the descendants of the only recognised Empress Regent of China. We've got Gemma Huang. They are a recent transplant to Los Angeles from Illinois, having abandoned plans for college to pursue a career in acting. But much to the dismay of her parents, she is now living with 3 roommates in a 2-bedroom hotel and is auditioning for roles that hardly cover rent. Gemma's big break then comes when she is asked to play a lead role in an update of Madame Butterfly, filming for the summer in Beijing. But when she arrives, she's stopped by paparazzi at the airport. She quickly realises that she may as well be the twin of one of the most notorious young socialites in Beijing, so it then kicks off a summer of revelations in which Gemma uncovers a legacy her parents have spent their lives protecting her from, one that her mother could conceal from her daughter at any cost. So yes, Diana Ma is a Chinese American author, so she has got that, like I say, Asian in her, and yeah, so this sounds pretty cool. So the next square is for a 5 or a 1-star read, so I suppose this realistically could go towards anything that we have given 5 stars, or maybe one that we didn't really like and that crosses that off. But I was sort of thinking, do I put a book that I think possibly could be a 5-star read for me? So I was thinking, why not? Live at large. So I've put Love at First by Kate Claiborne. So this is about a guy called Will Sterling, and 16 years ago he heard the girl of his dreams, standing beneath an apartment building balcony. He shared a perfect moment with a lovely, warm-voiced stranger, and it's a memory that's faded so much that it's in the past and it's behind him, and an unexpected inheritance has brought him back to the same address where he plans to offload his new property and get back to his regular life as an overworked doctor. But then he encounters a woman 2 balconies above who seems a little bit familiar. Nora Clark is very, very surprised by her reaction to Will, and the whispered pre-dawn conversations that they share, she won't let his plans ruin her. Bound by her loyalty and her adored grandmother, she sets out to foil his efforts with a light sabotage, but beneath the surface of their feud is a connection, a balcony and a star-crossed couple, a fateful meeting. Maybe it's that kind of story that can't work out in the end, or maybe it is the perfect second chance. So it's quoted from Christina Lauren that it has the most delightful cast of characters and it's a modern romance masterpiece. So I love myself a good romantic comedy, or even just a really good romance book, and it just sounds really cute. So if this ends up being like a good 5-star read, then this could cross off that box, but it also could end up being a 1-star read, so who knows with that one. Last of all, this square is to read a hyped up book. So for this one I put The Roommate by Rosie Dannon. A lot of people were talking about this, especially around the release of it, and even people that managed to get an early review copy of it. So this is about Clara, who is a good girl. She's overachieving, she's well mannered, she's predictable. Her childhood crush invites her to move across the country, so it's too good to resist and too good to be true. So then Clara finds herself sharing a house with a charming stranger. Josh might be a bit too perceptive or handsome for comfort. There's a good chance that he could have survived sharing a summer sublet if she hadn't looked him up on the internet. So when she learns how Josh has made a name for himself, she realizes that living with him might destroy the reputation that she spent years building. But while they may not agree on much, Josh and Clara believe women deserve better sex. What they decide to do about it will change both of their lives, and if they're lucky, they'll help everyone else get lucky too. So somebody here has quoted saying, one of the top romances of 2020. You might have heard of them. It's Jen DeLuca. We've got a funny, super steamy, surprisingly tender. We've got Evie Dunmore here that's quoted it. Alexa Martin has said it's a powerful feminist book that will make you laugh out loud as you cheer. So a brilliant sort of like rom-com. But yeah, very, very popular. And again, Christina Lauren's quoted it saying this book is pure joy. So I've got quite a lot of romances on my list, but it's the perfect time of year to cuddle up with a good romance book, because, you know, it is the cold seasons and Christmas and cuddling up and stuff. So those are the books that I have put towards the main 4 challenges as well as the bingo board, and I'm mostly going to be focusing on the 4 challenges, and then if I obviously manage to read one of those 4 challenges and that crosses off a box for the bingo board, because it's obviously finishing a book, and obviously it will help towards the self-care of doing the self-care section. So yeah, and then when I've somehow read those 4 books, I can go on to the bingo board books. So I'm quite excited to read these books, and yeah, let me know down below if you're going to be participating in the readathon, and if so, what books are you guys reading. But I just want to again say massive thank you to Brooke and Connor for letting me be a part of the reading sprints, as well as creating this readathon. It's brilliant, it helps us out, and their constant enthusiasm and positivity are just what help this readathon keep going. And you know, it's brilliant, it's so good. So yeah, that's it. Again, all the details down below in the description for you to follow, check out, join in, and all that sort of stuff. But that's it from me, guys. All of my own social media links are down below if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. Twitter, Goodreads, Instagram. Those are the places that I will be updating all of my information, as well as obviously this channel. And if you would like to not miss out, then you can join me on Twitter and all of my other social media sites. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have done it, please do give me a thumbs up. I post videos all the time, so if you're new to my channel, if you'd like to see more of my videos, then please feel free to subscribe. It will honestly make my day so much. But that's it from me, guys. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!